And my dad was like, oh, but it's not about that. It's about, like, it's bullshit. You just like living in this world where you're smart instead of this one where you're dumb. This is the Kendrick Lamar of books. Everything's got a second meaning. It's just like, come on, man. You're going too far with this. But
you don't like Drake.
I don't like Drake as well. Something I keep having to say this as well because I'm a Drake fanboy. Don't even like Drake. Don't even like Drake. Any insult against Kendrick Lamar is taken as, oh, because I love Drake. I think Drake's a knob. Total tool. Don't like him.
Some books tell a story. Others drop you straight into somebody else's mind, forcing you to experience their thoughts as if they were your own. Intermezzo is the latter, a book that doesn't just unfold, it unravels, thought by thought, feeling by feeling. There's no traditional plot here, the characters are the plot. The real journey isn't where they go, but how they think. At times, it feels like a thought exercise, a brain workout, a literary experiment that somehow works brilliantly. Here's an example. The book reads, "It's as if Peter, back at the station, boarded a train by accident, a train leaving for the past." Wait, did I write this? Read this wrong? It says, it's a train leaving for the past. Okay, no, I didn't write it wrong. I just said it wrong. Here's an example. The book reads, "It's as if Peter, back at the station, boarded a train by accident, a train leaving for the past. It's as if he arrived not this evening, but 2 years ago." This line, incredibly creative, it captures the surreal, disorientating nature of memory and time. It transforms an abstract emotional experience, being overwhelmed by the past, into something tangible, something we can see and feel. Instead of simply saying Peter felt like he was reliving the past, the passage frames it as an accidental train ride. A train is something that you can't easily stop or turn around once you're on board. You're at the mercy of its direction. This mirrors how memories work. Sometimes they pull us back without warning, making the past feel just as real as the present. It suggests that time isn't linear for Peter in this moment. That past isn't something that he remembers, but something he's experiencing again. It's poetic, immersive, and deeply human. Who hasn't felt like they've been transported back in time by a smell, place, or movement? This sentence captures the universal experience with elegant simplicity. But this book isn't for those who want an easy, straightforward read. It's for those who want to be challenged. Some say it's a masterpiece of introspection, and some say it's overwritten garbage. What did you think?
Well,
pause this video right now. Go and read Intermezzo by
Sally Rooney. And when you're ready, you can join us for the discussion.
Or you could join us anyway, because we're going to tell you all about it. My name's Elijah.
And I'm Joseph, and welcome to the Aisha Library.
So what was you going to say? Because you sounded like you was going to go in and said, well,
what I'm about to say about this book may surprise you. You said, some people think it's genius of introspection. And some people think it's written garbage. I think it was bullshit. Utter bullshit. And I'll explain why I thought it was bullshit.
I didn't think... That didn't surprise me.
I know. I knew it was going to surprise you.
Because... Well, anytime, I think, when I read a book, I'm saying, is this more like The Wedding People? Or is this more like If it's more like The Wedding People, you're not going to like it.
And I'll tell you why I didn't like it.
I didn't know the book was going to be like that, though.
I didn't know it was going to be like that either. But
I know it was a popular book. And
I understand why it's popular. I think it has value. And
a lot of people don't like it, though.
A lot of people don't like it. And a lot of people were saying, a lot of people don't like it. There was a review saying, I know a lot of people don't like this. And I found like 5 of those. There's a lot of people who agree with you and think how you think. I don't think that's wrong. And I think there's value to the book. And there was value in how it was written.
Yeah.
Having said that.
That's where I just want to make it clear. I'm not one of these people that think this is some profound literary piece of literature. It is, but I don't think it's that... I don't know what I'm saying. I think it was written written very well. I didn't personally love it. That's what I'm saying. I didn't personally love it, but I respected it. That's where I am.
Look, I think there's value to the book. I respected some things about it. Like I could probably pick out, I didn't write any down, but I could probably pick out lines and certain pieces of the literature where I was like, appreciate that, for example. As a writer, I can appreciate that. Having said that, I don't like when authors expect you to write their book for them, which is essentially what this book is.
What do you mean?
You're making me make your points for you. You're making me write your plot for you. You're making me do all the work here. I don't want to do the work. I've just come from work.
In terms of,
I want to read a book.
I know you're
to fall asleep to.
I know you're saying this book isn't. It's not. I don't know if it's an escape.
Yeah, I think
you've got to be present and you've got to be focused.
You said it's a challenge, it's a brain workout. I don't know. There's nothing wrong with books being like that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But, you, the author, you're getting all the credit for this. You're getting paid for this. You're getting the credit for this. And you didn't write anything.
Let me ask you this. Did you struggle to read it?
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely, and which is one of my first points.
I struggled in the beginning. I really took me a while to get locked into the story, but once I did, I wanted to know what happened next.
I never really felt like I wanted to find out what happened next.
I didn't want the book to end.
I wanted it to end immediately. Forever.
So wait, you don't think the book's good, is what you're saying?
I don't think it's good. No.
You don't think it's okay? You think it's one of the worst? It's one of the worst books we've read.
That's like asking me, is an apple one of the worst irons you've ever used? How could I possibly answer that?
So
I don't think it was really a book.
Yeah,
it was like words on a page, but I don't think it was really a book. Like, books for me need to have things, you know, that you can look at realistically and rate it. Like,
but that's just an opinion, surely.
Sure, of course, sure. No one has to give a shit about my opinion. But if you do, you know, I mean, if you don't, why are you on this channel? But
click off and fuck off.
both. But I think books need to have certain things that you can actually, you know, look back on it and say, when there's like, you watch
it's almost
movies,
like a poetry book.
Yeah, exactly. It's like when you watch movies and people are like, oh, it's not about the plot sort of thing. And it's just like, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. Do you remember Tenet? My dad was like, oh, but it's not about that. It's about, like, it's bullshit. You just like living in this world where you're smart instead of this one where you're dumb.
Well, that's specifically in this book. She's flexing on how intelligent, how
this is the Kendrick Lamar of books. Everything's got a second meaning. It's just like, come on, man, you're going too far with this. But kind of
like Drake.
I don't like Drake as well. That's the thing. I keep having to say this as well because I'm a Drake fanboy. Don't even like Drake. Don't even like Drake. Any insult against Kendrick Lamar is taken as, oh, because I love Drake. I think Drake's a knob, total tool. Don't like him. But yeah, let's not get into this. We'll do this all day. But kind of boring, really dense to start with. I don't think the style of writing is doing this book any favours right off the bat. Our main character is Peter, a Dublin lawyer whose father just passed away, and Peter has just stopped by his friend Naomi's house. The way the sentences are constructed is very dense. Sally Rooney says in 25 or 26 words what she could say in 6 or 7 words. That's not an accident, that's by choice. And her choice led to this book being 16 bastard hours long. In my opinion, anything over 11 is criminal. So I don't think that's bad and you should never do it ever. Like being verbose. Have a
good fucking reason.
Not only should you have a good
length for the book.
No. I mean, we could talk about that after. But in terms of like being really verbose, I think that's very good in... That I would mainly use that as a character quirk. So one of my characters, for one character. So one of my characters would be like really verbose in how they talk because people always used to say that about me, sort of thing. Yeah. People always used to say that about me. Why do you use such big words, sort of thing? People still say it.
Okay, I get what you're saying. So that's why she thinks she couldn't have a plot because it wouldn't make sense to have that written in a plot form.
Yeah, bro. I'm telling you, you would never get through a book where it's written like that. It's like The Name of the Rose. Like you can't get through large amounts of this. It's written to like a couple of sentences, maybe a conversation is written like this on one side as well. But I just thought like you're you know. Sometimes being a good writer isn't necessarily about showing how many words you know. Sometimes it's about efficiency. And sometimes intelligence is about saying things in a way other people can understand, as opposed to just using the biggest words you can find or trying to be the most descriptive, you know. So I think there's a good balance to it, and I don't think this really had any balance. She was just, you know, slamming me over and over again mercilessly.
Yeah. Even for a book like this, which is beautifully overwritten using complex language and a unique writing style, even this author cannot get away from a relationship that's just built on sex. Maybe that's realistic because that's how most relationships are built.
Fucky. Boy.
I wouldn't know. I'm not even allowed to touch small woman. But anyway, getting off topic.
We're in a cock cage. You're in a cock cage.
You would expect a book that is as complex as this to have some profound ideas, and it did, just not when it came to the relationship side of things. Both Peter and Ivan, they respectively had partners where there was a massive age gap between them. Nothing glued the couples together, apart from disgusting, filthy lust, of course. Even Sylvia, who was Peter's love of his life, I will admit that he was bound to her by a sense of loyalty because of what happened in the past. But still, when they met, all Peter seemed to be interested in was having sex, or at the very least, getting a hand job.
I don't understand the fascination with that, by the way. Hand jobs.
Jobs.
Not fussed.
Well, there's guys out there that don't find the fascination with blowjobs as well, you know. We call them weirdos. Funnily enough, I enjoyed the sex scenes. Usually, I'm rolling my eyes. I like the way Sally Rooney depicted Ivan's constant shyness and awkwardness, the giggling and the constant needless seeking of consent. Can I kiss you?
Yeah.
Have you ever said that to anybody, Joseph? Boy or girl? No, for real. Have you ever said that? You can't just drop that in there, can I?
Yeah, no, legit.
But have you ever said that? Can I kiss you, please?
I've never said it in those
that's
words. Nah. There's like playful ways that you can ask, and it'll be like
what?
No, but
I
it's
just
not.
Go for it.
Okay. All right, let's edit that out.
No, but do you know?
I know what you're saying.
It's a
kind of
TV type of.
It's like a beta male thing to do, to be like, can I kiss you sort of thing. When it's
so
like,
what do you?
That's got an expiration date. Some women like the whole shy thing, but it's got an expiration date. It doesn't last. But there's like, if I have asked, it wouldn't really be asking. It will be me asking like in a flirtatious type of way.
I'm gonna take notes. But I think to me that's a cause for concern because that's a non-conforming person or somebody that's ostracized from society. Can I kiss you, please?
But do you know what? It's very interesting you should say that because that's exactly how the characters were framed. Ivan was the non-conformant, the weirdo.
Both of them were. Yeah, no, that is true.
But
I remember
Peter he like conformed, like professionally he conformed, and I feel like that's why he had issues with his relationships. And I'll get more into that later. I don't want to spoil my point, but
yeah. All right, let me finish mine then.
Yeah.
Later on down the line, Margaret went on to say, if you want to make me come, then I could touch myself when you're inside of me. Is that rude or am I just too sensitive?
I think
the way I read that, if you want to make me come, then I could touch myself while you're inside of me. Because what the hell do you think you're going to do that little thing's going to do?
Do you know why I respected that about Margaret? Because you will see a common theme when people are...
that little thing is enough, do you?
Listen, what do we say? It's not about the size; it's about the motion of the ocean. But one common theme you'll see with a lot of in relationships is if there is an issue in the bedroom on the man's side, basically erectile dysfunction, it's the man's fault. He should be shamed for it. If the woman can't come, it's the man's fault and he should be ashamed for it. So everything is like pinned on the man. And guess what? Women don't even know their own bodies. You don't know how to make yourself come. You expect me to with like 5 straight minutes. 100%. So what I respected about her is she knew her own body. She said, this is what I like. Touch me here. This is what I want to do. Let's go. That's a healthy sexual relationship, you know. So healthy sex is not, lying like a starfish and begin, make me squirt, begin, which is what a lot of women tend to do. And then, who's living up to those standards?
So what you're saying is you prefer a girl to be telling you, don't do this, do that, do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just
100%. 100%.
Shut up and let me get mine.
I'm a considerate partner, ladies. He's not. You know which one you want.
The geek one, don't you?
Listen, geeks know stuff like how to make you...
You want them to piss on you, do you?
You're gonna see that back on the video.
Yeah, that's it. Go on.
This is the first time I'm ever going to admit this, but I made a mistake reading the PDF. I read the PDF, by the way. I didn't listen to the book. I read the PDF. I can't show you how it's written, but it's extremely aggravating. It pissed me off. There are no speech marks. So you have to double your efforts to work out where characters are speaking. And when there's no speech marks, it would just be like he said or I said or something like that. There's no speech marks anywhere. I don't know. Foolishness.
I was wondering, do you know, when I looked at the book, I
was like, where the speech marks?
No, I thought to myself, it looks a bit funny, but I couldn't tell you what it was.
Just have a look. Just anywhere.
No, I see it already. It's written in a script form.
Sometimes it's written like that, but look at this, for example.
But look, no, that's what I was looking at. This is what I was looking at. Look how much text this is. Look,
it's just blocks of text.
It's
blocks
unbroken.
Of text. And obviously I read this on my phone. I didn't read the book. I read it on my phone. So I'm just scrolling through blocks of text. And it was incredibly difficult. So look at this. But look at it. Look at this bit. What makes you say it's not true, she asks. Who writes dialogue like that? Look at that.
This is crazy.
That's fucked.
Why?
I don't know why this woman decided to do this, but Sally, I've just finished a shift and I'm reading for pleasure. Right
Margaret
now,
feels
I'm
her face
flaccid.
growing hot. No, I understand that, she says. Why would you do that?
Yeah, no, I didn't like that.
Because even the way text is formatted, what do? They put a new line. They put speech on a new line of text straight away, so you know what the fuck is going on.
And you can look at breaks. You look down the page, you'll see breaks.
I'm glad you brought this to my attention. But I probably would have realised once I looked at the book.
Everyone who liked it listened to the audiobook. And I think that's not an accident. That's not an accident.
That's interesting.
I said, I don't want to work hard, Sally. I've just finished a shift and I'm reading for pleasure. And right now I'm flaccid. I'm having a D-erection.
Oh, that's quite interesting. Why would you do that? You know, sometimes
Save ink.
genius. Huh?
Save ink.
Sometimes geniuses, they do things.
Where's the
they
thin
think,
line between genius and stupidity?
or
so to
crazy,
say.
or insanity.
Insanity.
Yeah. I know which one you are.
Thank you very much.
Lies hurt, don't they? But sometimes the truth hurts more. Peter said to Ivan, "You're with a woman that's 15 years your senior. That's not normal, is it? You don't really know her. She could be a weirdo." Ivan flies off the handle. "Fuck you! I've always hated you." Was Peter wrong for saying what he said? Could he have been more delicate? Which is what they said.
Yeah, you can be more delicate.
Can you understand what Ivan was feeling?
Yeah, no, I can understand being frustrated at your older brother. I can understand.
So was
I hate you. I wish you died. Yeah, Ivan was a bit of a wild card, but anyone called Ivan, like, what the hell? It's a wild card name. Ivan the Terrible.
So Peter wasn't wrong for what you were saying.
No, look, if you voice concerns, that's one way that you can show somebody that you love them.
Yeah.
So if you stay quiet, can you really claim you love them if you're concerned about something?
This is why I said for Ivan to react like that was so within his personality. There's a reason why he has no friends, and there's a reason why he's got no circle, because clearly he's a person who reacts like that. Do you think that a relationship between an older man and a younger man, do you ever think the relationship between an older woman and a younger man is different or less creepy than a relationship between an older man and a younger woman? Do you think they're both creepy, or do you think none of them are creepy?
There's different creepiness to both, but funnily enough, I think an older woman and a younger man might actually be more creepy.
I think it's definitely more creepy.
It might be more creepy because it's
I think it's definitely weird. I think the older man, younger woman, I don't think that's weird at all. I don't think it's creepy at all. I know that it's ostracized by society.
People
I know
say
it's looked
creepy.
down, but I don't understand why it's looked down on that. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of women say, "Oh, why do you want a younger woman? You can't get someone your age."
It's so funny that we're talking about this as well, because I saw this exact same thing. Somebody sent it to me on Twitter. Basically, there was a man and a woman, and they were counting what ages that they were when they had children, and it was rage bait because the woman's first child was not his child, and she had her first child at 17 and he was 24 at the time, and the child was on the screen but it wasn't his child. So obviously they rage baiting people into thinking that he impregnated her when she was 17 and he was 24. But this woman was like, he's a paedophile, and if you excuse this, you're a paedophile too, and you excuse him paedophilic behaviour, and she kept saying paedophile over and over again in different ways.
Jesus Christ.
But it's interesting. Paedophile is one of the most overused.
And I was going to say, if you were to cite the actual definition of a paedophile, you would get called a paedophile.
Yeah, I was about to say, that sounds like what a paedophile would say.
Yeah. If you say that a paedophile, the definition of a paedophile is someone who likes prepubescent children, right? Then you're going to say, why are you defending your paedophile defender, are you?
Only
I don't want to get fully into this debate, obviously, 100%. Because we can't.
But not only that, but somebody else,
cancellation.
Somebody else, he said, you just mad. Nobody wants your old dried up cobweb coochie. I said, damn, he went right there. He did no build up. He went right there. He said, old ass, dried up. So
you think? So what's your actual opinion then? Do you think do you think they're both creepy? None of them's creepy.
I think the reason why I say I think an older woman and a younger man, even though we've all had that fantasy, boys. Even though I think that could be a little bit creepier, is because there's no evolutionary reason for that coupling to occur. Literally. So like an older man, when he's in the prime of his life, physically, financially, sort of thing, can best look after. Well, all the women even want him. And he's best equipped to look after a family, and where a woman is in prime childbearing years, there's a very good evolutionary reason why that coupling could and does happen. But it's like the other way around, that is a fetish. That's all it is as well. Because like older women, they can't bear you children. You can't take care of them. So there's no reason why you should even be together. So that's
pretty much what I'm talking about. But you sound like a paedophile.
Yeah, that's it.
But is there anything wrong with dating a woman that's 20 years your senior? I'm not talking ideologically, I'm talking literally. If it was your son, brother, or so forth found himself in that situation, what would you do or say?
I would discourage them. Yeah, I would discourage them from pursuing that relationship for the purpose that, where does this go? Are you going to marry? Let's say you marry this woman and now you want to have children. She's 50, sort of thing. Yeah. And you're 25, let's say.
Well, he says I'm going to cheat.
We find a young woman to cheat on her instead. Even better. Like, there's nothing that you can gain from this that you couldn't gain with a younger woman.
I don't think. All right. What I will say is, I don't think it makes sense to get stressed or to really let your views damage your relationship between you and your son, because his relationships last anyway these days. You know,
That's
I
a
mean,
good point.
5 years, you probably forgot about that girl a long time ago.
That's a fair
So
point.
let them go through it. I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? It's not like he's going to have an unwanted child by her. Do you know what I mean?
I
So let him
suppose.
do it. Just say, look, I don't think you should do it.
It's going to run its course anyway.
It's going to run its course. You probably kick the bucket, the old bitch.
Might leave him some money.
Who knows win? I'm like, what you saying now?
That's what I'm saying. Listen, that's when you come out with the milk. Nah, legit. Are we terrible people?
You are. Wait, it's you now, isn't it?
Yes.
I got 2 more.
Okay, let me go twice then, because I'll have 2 more after I go twice. Let me say something good about this book. I like the tussle that Peter is going through regarding his 2 love interests, Sylvia and Naomi.
Tussle.
Sylvia is the one, I should have called it a tug of war. Sylvia is the one he loves and puts on a pedestal, the one who is good for him. And Naomi is the damaged, exciting one who smokes weed with him and lets him put it in all 3 holes.
At the same time.
This is such a relevant struggle to have a character go through because it's something lots of young men have to navigate, and there's no manual to consult on what the right decision to make is in this moment. Similarly, it's interesting that Ivan, the less well put together brother, seems to have his relationship all figured out. Just goes to show how chaotic and nonsensical love and relationships really are. If one thrives on chaos, one will conquer love itself. So I feel like the only way to like have a successful relationship with a woman is to be able to navigate chaos and thrive in it. Because if you are a planner and if you don't plan stuff, it all goes to hell. Women will, like, it will come all down.
I mean, and you saw it with Sylvia in this book as
100%.
well. She was just crazy. She
Yeah,
was
okay.
she was damaged, probably, mentally and physically. You know,
Definitely.
She was.
But then so was Naomi, you know. And it's like sometimes
she was perfect.
sometimes men think in these situations, well, you know, because like I said, there's no manual to consult. You have to
Sometimes
think.
you think listening to them is the right thing to do.
Yeah, not only that, but it's like sometimes you're thinking about how you feel, how a certain person makes you feel, which is how women-based relationships. When it's like, you know, men-based relationships on who have I made a commitment to, as opposed to how does this person make me feel. So, you know, there's no manual to consult, and it's like, it's a relevant struggle. What do you do in that situation? You know, you got one damaged person who was your first love.
I know what I'd do.
I would have done what he did. Take both of them.
Both.
Yeah, that's it. At the same time.
But if I had to pick, I mean, it's not difficult. Bye bye, Sylvia. See you later.
Yeah.
You wanted me to go anyway.
Yeah, like,
Do you know what I'm saying?
He left multiple times as well.
It takes great skill to write a book that has no plot and your readers are still entertained. I'm not going to say I was on the edge of my seat right the way through this book, but I was entertained. The relationship between Peter and Sylvia is so simple, but Sylvia insists on trying to make it ridiculously complicated to the point that Sylvia accuses Peter of using her because he broke up with his girlfriend to be with her. What in the mind fuck are you on about? Sylvia says, my illness has ruined my life. I'm not going to let it ruin yours too. So she refused to be with Peter, and she wanted to set him free so that he could be happy with somebody else. Initially, I thought that Peter's story was the more boring one, and Ivan's was the more interesting. But it wasn't before long, and Peter's POV picked up, and I liked the illusion of the dilemma. Because it wasn't a real dilemma, because both girls were on board. Win-win. Do you think I'm the only person who was waiting for the threesome to happen?
Oh, I was like, come on.
I mean, this was definitely a kinky book with I want you to do whatever you want to do to me.
A woman can never
I
say
want
that
you
to
to
me.
use me.
A woman can never say that.
I know, right? Personally, I'd say dishes need doing love. But I don't think that's what
That's what I'm saying.
what she needs doing. But yeah. Which one did you prefer, though?
Dinner ain't gonna cook itself.
Which one did you prefer, though?
What? Which storyline?
Sylvia or no? No, which did you prefer, Ivan or Peter, though?
Well, what's interesting, I was going to ask you this question. Did you feel like you had resonated more with one of them, and why? Because obviously we're not a good mirror for them, but we're older brother and younger brother at the same time, right? So it's like, and I thought there was some similarities between me and Ivan, and there was probably some similarities between you and Peter. Probably, maybe, I don't know.
Trying to call me infidelity? But yeah, no. What is it? Which one did you prefer? Sorry. In terms of like, which one did you enjoy reading more? Which one did you enjoy reading less?
I think I probably enjoyed reading Peter more.
Really? Because
Yeah.
I thought Ivan was much better throughout. maybe I was just locked in because of the chess. I don't know.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking
At
as
least
well.
had that. Peter didn't have nothing.
Yeah, but it wasn't even enough chess. But the thing
I
about
think she wanted to not really.
it's like the chess thing was the issue for me because I think if chess is in the book, the book's got to be about chess now because it's like. Unless it's gonna be one game where two characters play a game as like a battle of wits sort of thing, like you see with Professor X and Magneto. But it's got to be about chess, and this book was about him losing his passion for chess.
I want to figure out why it's called Intermezzo, though. Actually.
Oh yeah, that sounds like an Italian word, maybe.
I don't know. I was supposed to Google.
I have absolutely no idea. Let me go again, anyways. What on earth is this bloody book? Is it first person? Is it third person? Is Peter narrating? Is Ivan narrating? I can't bloody tell. I'm seeing both. Is Sally Rooney's plan to confuse me to the point where I give the book a 5 stars just to fit in, not look dumb? Because that will never work on me. In France, they have a saying when a book is terrible. They call it papier toilette. And we will wipe our ass with it. I was like, what the bloody hell is this book?
Some of the point of views were from Margaret's point of view and this, that, and the other.
Ridiculous. And then they would switch from third person to first person back again. Like, nah, it was a mess. It was a mess. I can't believe you liked it.
Well, it wasn't... Wait. You can't believe I liked it?
I can't believe... Well, I can because I read it and you listened to it. So obviously it's the main difference again, right there off the bat. So that's understandable.
Yeah, no, really, I think that would have been painful to go through it.
Yeah, it was.
And I'm going to find out, aren't I?
But this is why I said this was the first time I've made a mistake reading the PDF. It was an error of judgment. And I should have listened to the audiobook. But
there's never a time where
I got it for free, and I said I'm not spending a credit when I can.
There's I don't think there's any time that reading's better than audio. You might prefer it, you might enjoy it, but it's not better.
Well, I think better is an interesting word to use. I don't know if I would say better, so I'm kind of agreeing with you here. But where I would disagree is that, and this is really disagreeing with a point you never made, but what point does it become? This isn't a book. This is a totally different, immersive.
But why is that a consideration?
Why not? Why wouldn't it be? Because write a book. If I say to you, here, pen and paper, write a book. Here, pen and paper, write a book. And let's say we had 2 authors on there. One is maybe Stephen King, and one is another one that only does these immersive audiobook sort of thing. I say pen and paper, write a book, go. Like you would not survive in that environment. A writer should be able to survive in that environment.
Maybe.
I mean, maybe they would. Maybe they would, yeah. But given the body of work, we can say you wouldn't be. You shouldn't be able to. And if they do, then fair play to them.
Then that means they're very, very good.
Well, it's natural selection. It would.
It's natural selection.
Maybe, but based on their body of work.
It'd elevate the skill.
But if we can say, pardon, before you make this point, if we can say that somebody who only does these audiobooks is a good writer because they could be, then anyone is a good writer because they could be. You can't.
Well, I think, put it this way, I think the king of the whole point of us reading books is to be entertained. That's the whole point. And if the audiobook can be enhanced to make it more entertaining, then why not? If that's the end goal.
That's a pro. It's a pro being more entertaining. I'm not saying it's a con being more entertained, but I'm saying at what point does it start being a movie? When does it start being a movie?
Without the pictures, it's not a movie. Everything else,
fair enough. Book. But what I'm saying, remember we read like 1984, for example, and it will have like these little, and even the favourites where it will have like the news. I'm like, they say a bloody book.
It's cheating. Yeah,
it's really cheating. And normally I like cheating, but this time I felt like you doing it by the book. Like you would lose a lot of that.
Do it by the book. Do it by the book. One of the biggest differences between Ivan and Peter is that one of the brothers have mental health issues. Peter is frequently depressed and even sometimes suicidal. I wonder if his drug and alcohol usage has anything to do with that. A lot of people think I smoke weed because I'm depressed, when in fact the correct statement is I am depressed because I smoke weed. People think that their drink or drugs are making them feel better, but in many cases alcohol and weed do not fix the problem and in fact make it worse. It's a slippery slope when you're high. It's a slippery slope when being high is you're sober. That only demotes soberness to something undesirable. I would have liked Sally Rooney to delve into that aspect, but of course, the Irish love a drink, and that would probably be cultural suicide for her to attack a Guinness.
Yeah.
So maybe that is. Am I just giving her a cop out?
Is she Irish?
I don't know. I assume so.
I thought she was Welsh. I don't know.
So wait, isn't the book set in Ireland and all of that? Or is it set in Wales?
No, it is. It's in... Wait.
And it's Rooney. Her name's Rooney. That's definitely got to be...
But he's Scouse. Rooney, the football player. Scouse.
Rooney. But that name's...
Dublin is in. Oh yeah, it is in Ireland. I thought
She
Dublin was
is
in Northern
Irish
Ireland
and
for
all of
some
that.
reason. Fair enough. Yeah, it is set in Dublin. I forgot
Yeah,
about
so
that.
she can't. They all like to have a drink.
Again, I read it, so I didn't get any Irish accents. Which
Oh
would've-
yeah, I got
that
it all.
would've
That. I
stood-
got
Yeah, you got all of that.
Yeah. I even complained in the beginning. I said, "Why did they get an Irish narrator?" Because I had no idea it was all set in Ireland and all of that.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Which I thought was annoying because you could barely hear the Irish people say you got to slow
Is
it.
Irish
right
worse than Scottish accent?
down. It depends. We talk about angry Scotsmen because I can understand Conor McGregor.
Yeah,
And I think Irish accent's kind of funny.
it is kind of funny.
But yeah,
Now, angry Welsh has got to take that.
I think Welsh is probably the hardest to understand.
You think so?
I don't know.
Nah, I still think it's Scottish. Like, they couldn't say a whole sentence.
Oh yeah,
I didn't get a
yeah,
word.
you're
I
right.
didn't get
You're right.
a
You're
word.
right. You're right. You're right.
Didn't
you're
get a
right.
word.
You're right. Yeah, you're actually right. But yeah, you're done.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, I think we both enjoyed the book, and we both would recommend it. I mean, we both think it's one of the best books we've read. And on that note, let's call it a day. Until next time.
Until next time.